Mecha Army! What's good? It is Friday. Fucking Friday. Heyo. We made it through another week, kids. So congratulations. Pat yourself on the back. So, woo, we are here. We are here. So, let's see. What did we get done yesterday? Oh yeah, we mounted the tanks onto the new boosters for the Hyaku Shiki, the backpack. And when I say they look awesome, I am in love with this look. This was suggested by our good friend Mr. Julius. I know he's in the audience. Julius, thank you, buddy. These look awesome. They just look great, and I'll show them to you here in a moment. First and foremost, if you are perusing the internet, obviously go pick up some. They're good. They're real good. Anyway, also too, the Child of Mecha store is open. I just added a new hat today. A new Mecha Army hat, actually. And I'm calling it the Mecha Army Wide logo. I'm sure everybody, if you've ever watched the stream, you've seen the Mecha Army, the stacked logo, Mecha Army underneath. Well, this one is just in one line with, really, really nice, just a nice look to it. Added it to a trucker hat, which are really quite nice. I'm going to actually have to get myself one. My personal favorite is the gray and the white. But we have black, charcoal. There's a nice, what's called a caramel color in there. So think like Dickies or Carhartt, something like that. That's kind of the color. Really kind of cool. And then also for the ladies, pink. So, and for the guys too, if you want to go that route, that's fine. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Probably gonna have to break down and get one, like I said. So I really like it. I like how it looks just right across the noggin. So, hell yeah. But anyway, there's a lot of other cool stuff in there, and I'm working on new things. There should be a drop probably next week sometime. Some new MSV logos. Some Victory Gundam logos. The Shrike team is going to be dropping next week on shirts and hoodies. That'll be really cool. That came out really nicely. So all of the redraw videos are going to be up for members and everything like that too. So if you want to take a look at them, obviously, you need to be a member. But aside from that, members expect to see that here at some point next week. I know I posted one day or two ago, the Killer Bee logo. It's an MSV kind of Desert Zaku unit insignia. I finished the Shrike. I need to do the video on that. That'll probably be done either today or tomorrow. So, yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. So, go check that out. Shop.childofmecha.com. Go take a looky look. Anywho, question of the day. Question of the day. Which matters to you more? Finishing more kits or spending more time on each one? I'll go first. You guys know me. If you've been watching for a while, I'm always quality over quantity. Lucky if I get a model or two done a year. So, yeah, easy answer for me. Easy answer for me. But, it may not necessarily be easy for you. So take a look. Answer the question of the day. Anywho, let's get caught up in the chat real quick, and then we'll get to some work, yeah? Nightfall, he's with us. He was first. He was in first. And then our good friend, Mr. Javier Gunpla Uruguay, he says, oh, hi. Javier, how the hell are you, buddy? Enrico is with us. Enrico! Buenos noches. Love that. Enrico says, what's up? Having dinner in front of my laptop over here. Yeah. Let's see. Julius says, I'm thinking Bear Guy's shirt. So with the shirt guesses, you guys, like, I only have really one shirt right now that fits, and that's the Mecha Army shirt. So, yeah. I hate to rain on everybody's parade, but it is literally just a plain red shirt today. Nothing special. I do have a couple new shirts coming in the that I ordered the other day. I ordered a Grim Reapers because that looks awesome. I love the new shoulder, placard or whatever. And then also too, I ordered the Heisenflay 2 T-shirt. So those will be coming next week or maybe the week after, depending. So shipping from Cali's a little on the slow side. I know Julius got his stickers super quick. He ordered them on Friday, and I think, Julius, you got them, what, Tuesday? Something like that. And then I think, Julius, you were supposed to get your shirt yesterday or the day before. Something like that. I don't know. How did that come out, by the way? Let us know. But yeah, Renee ordered hers right after Julius, and her order comes next Friday. So yeah, shipping cross country kind of sucks at this point right now, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. The production was super quick, which I was happy with, very happy with. Let's see. Andrew's with us. He says evening all. He says, I say airdrop. Andrew, honestly, you were probably the closest with the red. Partial credit. Yeah, partial credit. Let's see. Julius answered the question of the day. He says, for me, this ties into the last question of the day, having patience and spending more time on each kit. Yes, I like it. I like it. My ear itches. Sorry. Let's see. Enrico is having a Milanesa sandwich, typical dish down here in Uruguay. Interesting. Nothing wrong with a good sandwich. I myself had burgers on the grill tonight, and they were fucking amazing. They were so good. I tried something a bit different. So obviously, you know, you got to start off with an 80-20 mix. Anything higher is just it'll dry out, right? You need that fatty content, right? And then normally what I'll do is you know, kind of mix in some spices. You know, you got your salt, your pepper, your garlic powder, your onion powder, smoked paprika, which, oh, one of my favorites. And then I threw in a little Southwest Chipotle seasoning as well, just a little kick. But the thing that I did differently was, instead, I normally use Worcestershire, however. I usually put that in there. And instead, because I didn't have any at the time, what I did was I used yellow mustard. Yeah, yellow mustard, kind of as a binder, added a little moisture into it. Ooh, you guys, if you make burgers on the grill, put some yellow mustard in your mix. You will not regret it. It was so good. Amber ranted and raved over it, and that is a tall order. That is a tall order. When you get the, when you get the certificate of approval from Amber on food, is good. So yeah, it was so yummy, so yummy. Enrico, he says, wanted to spray some paint on my diorama, but it's way too humid for that, and I don't have a moisture trap for this compressor yet. Oh yeah, don't risk it. Don't risk it. Let's see, Dave B. What up, Dave? He's answered the question of the day. He says, personally, spending time on each one. For snap builders / reviewers, it's finishing more. For modifications and detail up, spending more time on that kit. I agree. Let's see. Looks like Enrico and Javier are talking. Good deal there. Mr. Todd is with us. Mr. Mad Havoc. What's going on, Mr. Todd? Let's see. Julius, he says, you're welcome. Glad to help out. It's an honor to me because it means I do have some sense of design and style. Dude, yeah. And we'll show everybody kind of how they looked. And Julius, I don't know, were you on yesterday or not? I don't remember. But if not, we'll show you how it looks because I think it looked really, really good. And I think it came out really nice. Really, really nice. And let's see. Enrico says it's going to be calling for you until you get around to building it. Huh? Was that for me or for Javier? I think it was for Javier. I don't know. Yeah, Enrico says I was actually thinking about our build-off plans. Oh, that's gotta be to Javier. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're talking. Okay, no worries. Let's see. Mike Dawson's with us. He says hello, everybody. Michael, what's going on, bud? Enrico says buenos noches. Nice. Let's see. Todd says answer. I try to finish as much on one. I'll switch to another to finish another part, then go back to the other. Multitasking. I dig it. Gio's with us. What's going on, buddy? He says, hello, everyone. I have been on and off, trying to leave work right now. Ooh, man, you're there late, bud. He says, I posted pics of the kit I painted with the $20 airbrush. Nice, we got to check that out. Let's see, Julia says, yeah, stickers Tuesday. No shirt yet. I thought that was supposed to show up. Let me see here then. Julius? Real-time customer service. Look at this. Look at this. Real-time customer service. Yeah, partially delivered. Oh, see, okay. That's, okay, I totally got mixed up because I saw the shipped on date. Okay, that's why I got mixed up. All right, good deal. Let's see. Oh, it looks like it might be out for delivery there, Julius. It looks like Amazon Shipping picked it up. And yeah, 2:11 p.m. today, it was marked as out for delivery. So there we go. You might be getting that today. Yeah, it's still, what, it's 7:30 out there on the West Coast. So yeah, not bad. Not bad. Very nice. Andrew answered the question of the day. He says, depends on the kit I'm building and whether I plan to customize and paint. That's fair. That's fair. Gary's over there. He says, good evening, Tim and chat. Gary, how the hell are you, buddy? How the hell are you? Michael answered the question of the day. Finishing kits. I'm a pack rat, so can't spend too much time on projects. That's fair. That's fair. Andrew says, if it's the RE100 Gun Easy or Gun Blaster, I can knock it out relatively fast since I'm just trying to fill out the Shrike team's coffins. Oh, buddy. Buddy, too soon, right? I mean, okay, so for anybody that doesn't know, the entire Shrike team died in Victory Gundam. They were an elite, all-female unit that fought for, Ligue Militaire. Yeah. And, yeah, they all died at some point. It's not great, but still, they were pretty fucking awesome. And the insignia is awesome as well. Which again, that's dropping in the store at some point next week on shirts and hoodies. So that was actually a fun one to redraw. So need to upload the video to that for the members on here. So yeah. Todd says, had some baked pork chops and garlic mashed potatoes and coleslaw. Not bad. Not bad. Andrew says, sorry, Tim, I hate mustard. The smell and the taste make me sick. That's fair. That's fair. Everybody likes different things. Like, I love cilantro, but some people think that it tastes like soap, which I totally understand. For some reason, I like it. So, no, I get it. And, like, I don't like coffee. Most people love coffee. I do not. So, yeah, different flavor palettes. Yeah, there's no fault there. No fault there. Mr. Javier, he says, Tim, Milanesas are kind of like German schnitzel. Interesting. Mostly beef or chicken. A nice Milanesa sandwich usually goes with lettuce, tomato, ham, cheese, eggs, and any other thing you want to add. Okay. I kind of dig it. I kind of dig it. I mean, you got me with the chicken sandwich part. Lettuce, tomato, maybe skip the ham. The cheese, the eggs. That's kind of interesting. I'd go for it. Yeah. Does it have like a sauce or anything like that, Javier? I love a good sauce. Just something to, add in some moisture and flavor and yeah. Let's see. Big Terp, he answered the question of the day. He says, finishing kits, since it takes so long to finish a kit since I'm still working on my airbrush technique. Going through some purple, super clean, stripping paint over and over. Totally get it. I totally get it. 100%. Let's see. Todd says, not much, Tim, just relaxing still. A bit sore, but slowly getting better. See? That is a good thing. That is a good thing. Hell yeah. Enrico answered the question of the day as well. He says, agree with Dave. Now that I'm back to the hobby, I think I'll be finishing 3 models a year at most. There we go. Julia says, gotta try an Aussie burger with the works. What is an Aussie burger? He says, slice of beet? Like beets? Or beef? Over easy egg, slice of pineapple? Bacon, lettuce, tomato, onions, grilled or raw. I like raw onions. But sometimes grilled are good too. I'm not partial. Mustard and tomato sauce. Huh. Interesting. I'm not sure about some of the combos in that. The pineapple especially, I'm like... And when you say tomato sauce, is it like tomato sauce or is it like a ketchup? 'Cause that's another one that I'm kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. Edwin's with us. He says, good morning. Hello, everyone. Edwin, how the hell are you, buddy? Good to see you. Todd says, question, Tim. Yes.
We have a question.
He says, what did you think of the Sazabi video I sent you? That was actually pretty cool. I've actually seen that video, and for those of you wondering, Todd posted that same video in the Mecha Army Facebook group. So if you're interested in seeing said video, definitely go take a look at that. This massive, almost human-sized Sazabi with, motorized, hatches and, finger movements and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. It was pretty cool. So, I'm not one to get over on like the big monster builds so much. Especially with like the movements and everything. Now, mind you, they're cool. I guess more of my kind of cup of tea is seeing, the actual scale models that people work on and really are, go very, very intricate and everything. It's a lot easier on the bigger, pieces, obviously, but, it's a lot harder with the smaller scales. And when I say that, I'm including 1/100 scale. But yeah, no, it was really freaking cool. A lot of work went into that thing, especially with all the mechanical, hatches and everything. Pretty interesting. Andrew, he says, quick health update. He says, I have 6 to 8 weeks of PT, physical therapy, coming up for my knees. Oh, shit. He says, if it doesn't help, then they'll do surgery to try and repair the meniscus and both. Damn. Andrew, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Knees are tricky. Knees are very tricky. You've got so much going on, so much stress on your knees and everything. Man, yeah. Get better, dude. Get better. Enrico says, yep, Tim, we've been planning this build-off with Javier for 1,000,000 years now. Doesn't help that I was away from the hobby for almost 5 years, but shh. Nice. Well, definitely, when you guys do your build-off, man, post some pictures for us. We want to see them. Let's see. Yeah, everybody's wishing Andrew, heal up, speedy recovery. Hell yeah. Yeah, yikes, meniscus injuries are a bit. Yes, they are. Yeah. Yes, they are. Andrew says, thanks all. That's very good. Mr. Blaze is with us. He says, great news. Went to the doctor for my foot reconstruction, and I got cleared to return to full duty Monday. Nice. Foot reconstruction, though? Damn, Blaze. Holy shit, dude. Like that, when you say just reconstruction on anything, I mean, that's gotta be serious. That's wild, dude. Well, hey, good job. Enjoy going back to work. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, Andrew says, great news, Blaze. Hell yeah. Mr. Lelouch, Mr. Brian, he's over there. He says, hello, night crew. Brian, how are you, buddy? Andrew says, coffee is only good for Jacobson's toast? I don't know what that is. I never heard of that. I'm sorry. Blaze says, I wish you the best with the PT and hope you don't need surgery. Same. Hell yeah. He's saying that to Andrew, right? Edwin answered the question of the day. He says, I'm jumping around kits like House of Pain. Nice. Because lately I build Warhammer 40k vehicles for my orcs. Fair. That's fair. Enrico says, we'll treat you to some good Melanesis. I hope I'm saying that right. When you come to Uruguay, Tim. Oh, yeah, let's go. Let's fucking go. Yeah, in a heartbeat, you guys. In a heartbeat. Let's see. Big Terp, pickled root. A slice of purple goodness on a burger. Huh. Say the fuck what? I mean, honestly, I'll be straight with you guys. You kind of lost me at the beat thing. Yeah, that's another one. I'm just like, nah. Blaze answered the question of the day. He says, I'm happy to either way, but I'm working towards my goal of eventually entering for GBWC, so I got to learn to slow down on my builds. Nice. Good, good, good. I like it. I like it. Julia says, wow, now that is customer service. Tim talking about my delivery, me walking to the front door and opening it while the Amazon driver is dropping the package on the front porch. Holy crap. Talk about serendipitous. Look at that. That's wild, dude. That is wild. Well, good. I'm glad it arrived. I'm glad it arrived. Big Terp says tomato sauce is ketchup overseas. Okay, I'm just making sure. Because like over here, like, you know, when you say tomato sauce, I'm thinking like, you know, tomato sauce that would go into like a, you know, like a pasta or spaghetti sauce, something like that. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm just like, I don't know. Let's see. Brian says, Enrico, are there any big model events in South America that you know of, or is it mainly local in country? Yeah, that'd be interesting, right? That'd be interesting. Julie says, yeah, beet and tomato sauce is ketchup. Okay. Yeah, you guys, like I said, you lost me at the beet thing, man. I'm not there. I can't. Yeah. Let's see. Enrico says, mostly nationwide events, yep. Though I'm sure there are some bigger international military model events. Probably. They're more mainstream. Yeah. But still, though, enter. Have fun. Let's see. Blaze says, pro tip, don't be born with flat feet, and you won't need a reconstruction before you're 35. LOL. It was a big surgery. Ended up with 17 staples and 10 stitches with 6 incision and 3 implants. Oh my God. Blaze, I actually have extremely flat feet. I don't have hardly any arch at all. I consider myself lucky that I've never had any issues. That's insane, dude. Well, I'm glad you're recovered. And man, hopefully that's the end of everything that you're dealing with, right? Oh my God. Let's see. Brian says, doing good, Tim. On my 4th cup of coffee today. Oof. Super long week for me. It sounds like it. If you're on your 4th cup for today, yeah, dude, it's fucking long. Oh, man. Andrew says, Jacobson's toast. Okay, I was wondering about this. Thank you, Andrew. He says, Jacobson's toast is a thick, about an inch thick, so almost like a Texas toast thick, and half the height of regular bread. It's a hard toast with cinnamon and sugar on it. Best to butter it and dunk it in coffee to make it edible. Interesting. Huh. I mean, you lost me at the coffee, but I'm all in on the cinnamon and sugar. Hell yeah. Let's go. Brian says, good to know, Enrico. Always been curious of other region events, right? Kelvin, he says, hey there, did you miss me? Kelvin, always, buddy. He says, answer, yes. Thank you for all the kindness, joy I think I deserve, or if the answer. Let's see, no, well, ask Rusty the puppy about the cone on his head. Oh, the cone of shame. My goodness, I crack me up sometimes. Nice. Oh man, yeah. Kelvin's puppy got the snip the other day, so he's got to wear the cone of shame. Man, poor pup. Big Turf says one reason all the stuff works on an Australian burger is that their beef still has flavor as opposed to our rather bland factory stuff. Interesting. I never thought about that. Okay, all right. If I ever get to Australia, shit, I'll have to give that a shot. Enrico says, yeah, man, wish we could get the Latin American community together and aim for a GBWC qualifier one day, even if it's online, right? That would be cool as shit. Chris Reniger, What's going on, Mr. Chris? He says hello. What's going on, dude? Enrico says most of the continent speaks the same language, and yet each country is doing its own thing. If we had a more unified community, it'd be awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think that's for pretty much anybody. Let's see, Blaze says, I'm still at the first part of recovery. My foot will return to completely normal about 10 months from now. But if you ever do have to do it, I'll your guy when it comes to answers of what to expect. I gotcha. Man, yeah, fingers crossed I don't have to go through that, man. Let's see. Brian, he said, answer the question of the day. He says, get more kits done mainly because my backlog is giant and only a few I give the special touch for the custom paint job or like right now, my first full custom. All right, okay. Work through it, right? That's fair. Big Turpy says, what makes me older? Spending Friday nights talking toys here or being subjected to stock advice from another group of friends? Definitely the stock advice. This keeps you young, buddy. This keeps you young. Let's go. Let's see. Andrew says, I'll be sure to, Blaze. My ankle doctor keeps mentioning it, yet doesn't follow through on arch reconstruction surgery despite the pain in my right ankle. Oh, man. Rough. Man, all you guys have, like, health issues going on. I feel bad for you guys. Jeez. Well, quick recovery for every single one of you. Quick recovery. All right, let's get caught up, shall we? Let's go to camera 2. All right. So let me get this. Let me get this guy in here. And then here is the progress so far. The arms are glued in. These are now 100% static, meaning they are not moving at all. And that is the permanent spot for how that's going to look and everything. So, but yeah, you can see how we went ahead and staggered the fuel tanks here. I think that looks really, really good. I like that the top fuel tank touches the arm. I dig that empty space between. I think once this is painted up, that'll look really, really good. So yeah, I just dig the whole look of it is just really, really nice. And then, you know, kind of from the front here, you know, you kind of get a glimpse of the fuel tanks back there and all. Really, really good. Really, really good. So I dig this quite a lot. Dig it quite a lot. All right, so let's break it down and let's get back to it, yeah? Now, I think for tonight, what we want to do is to start filling in this area here. So basically start to plate all in here to make it kind of look like, you know, our guy down here, just to make it, you know, look, you know, like one solid piece and everything. So I think what we'll end up doing is plating a little bit more around this section. Maybe raise that above the piece just a little bit and then start to taper it down into the arm and all that. Aside from that, it's not too bad. What I might do also too is maybe plate a little bit down here. I don't want to leave that block exposed. It just doesn't, you know, look great. So we'll probably do all that here, or at least get started on that this evening and kind of see where it goes from there. So, all right. So with that said, let's break this apart. All right, get that off to the side, put that off there, and then you can kind of see the internals here of kind of what we did, right? You've got this 3mm step block here that, you know, steps the lower fuel tank out a little bit. I plated the inside of the actual part for, you know, about 2mm. And then that's inserted right into, you know, the wall of the piece and these, you know, plastic plates and everything. These PLA plates, if you will. This is all looking really, really good. It's very, very solid. Just super happy with it. This thing is glued in. This is 100% locked into place. And this guy is locked in as well. It's not going anywhere. Anyway, so let's get the fuel tanks removed first. Those off to the back so we don't lose them. All right, so, and then let's get this guy off of there, that guy off of there, put those off to the side. All right, so now we have our raw part, right? Now we're gonna need to pop the side back on every now and then to get kind of a bearing on how far to plate on this thing, right? So let's get to it. Let's see what we've got. Let's get some measurements going and all that. Before we do that, though, let me grab a drinky drink here. Anywho, real quick, let's get caught up here. Let's see. Handren's with us. He says, sounds like a clinic up in here. Dude, right? Holy shit. Chris says stocks, but what is the advice? Yeah. Blaze says, this is why we do hobbies that let us sit down so the issues aren't as apparent. Nice. Handren says, yeah, good evening, lads. Right? Buddy. Handren, yeah. Like, I don't understand. Everybody's got some health issues going on, some like physical issues and stuff, and I'm sitting over here, I'm like, shit, hope I don't get hurt, you know. Big Terp says, I had plantar fasciitis. Turns out the solution is buying good shoes. Yeah, you gotta support your tootsies. You gotta support your tootsies. Let's see. Brian says, LOL, the retirement crew is here instead of the build crew. Ooh. Andrew laughed at that. So did Handren. Let's see. Blaze says to Brian, I'm only 32. Got a long way to go before I get that far, right? Andrew says, I use prescription-only inserts for my shoes. Best $40 I spend once a year. There you go. Hey, there you go. Hey-oh. Brian says, LOL, if only I got a small loan of $1 million, I'd be good for a bit. Oof, me too. Styrene plate, that is. There you go. Let's see. Burke is with us. He says, that's wrong in so many ways, Handren. LOL, drunk. Handren, are you getting sauced up right now? What? Let's see. Javier says, I'm mostly healthy, Tim. I just, 1 pill a day for blood pressure there. Well, hey, well, good. The health is important, you guys. The health is important. Oh, Handren says, oh no, I meant him. Oh, see, I thought you were getting sauced up. Holy crap. I thought you were getting sauced up there, Handren. A little drinky drink. Burke says, I'm saucing him. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. All right, kids. Let's get back to it, yeah? All right, so what do we got here? Need to get the T-square unburied from the rest of the tools. Let's see. What do we have? We have about 5.5? 5.5-ish. That 6.3 is obviously way over, but, you know, we may have to deal with that and strip it, you know, kind of cut it down a little bit, because the only other option that we have in terms of the strip is 4.8, and yeah, that's not gonna do the job. So we're gonna have to actually cut some strip, you know, like trim it down is what I mean. All right, so with that being said, let me see, what is the gap under, because what I want to do is I want to lay down a base here to slip under this section here. But I'm not exactly sure what that gap, well, 0.5 millimeter fits. That actually is really, really good. And then we can plate from there. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, excellent. Let's get to this. All right, that's 0.5 mil. Okay, so how far do we want this plating to come up? That's going to be the big question here, right? What I'm thinking is probably just beyond kind of the side reveal. So right here is where it starts to reveal. So maybe right around here-ish. Like right, you know, kind of like right there, you know, little bit beyond the point where it reveals on the side, right? And I think if we bring up the plating slightly from this surface and then gradually bring it down here, I think that's going to look really, really nice. Yeah, I think I'm going to like that profile. All right, so with that, let's see how far under, I want to see how far under this piece, this gap is, right? Okay, so that can't go any farther than that. Right there. So, and then where's our mark? Right there. Okay. Right there. Okay. Cool. All right. So we've got kind of like almost like what's called a story stick in woodworking, right? Basically, what a story stick is it's a length of either wood or, in this case, plastic, and it has marks for different increments of features and everything, right? So at this mark, this is, you know, when the plastic starts to become visible, this is located, you know, this section here is located underneath of the part. And then this mark right here, which right there, is going to be where our plating actually ends. So with that, let's get the chopper engaged here. Let's get this right there, right there. Boom, lock it in. All right, cool. So we'll put that off to the side. I don't want to use that particular strip because it's not wide enough. Square that. 1, 2. All right, good deal. So then, we got those two. We're going to need to trim these down to probably about, I think it's 5.5 millimeters. Let me just double check here. Yeah, about 5.5 millimeter. All right, cool. So, good thing is that we can use our scribing jigs because we have somewhere here 5.5. There we are. No, that's 6.5. Son of a bitch. Where's the 5.5? That's 4.5. That's 6. 3.5. Here we go. Here's 5.5. So we've got a 5.5 millimeter scribing jig. So basically we can just set this right up in the corner there. Bring this down. And then we can just basically, you know, and very quickly trim off the excess here. Man, you guys are chatty Cathys tonight. What's up with that? I'm trying to work over here, damn it. Alright, so there we have a 5.5 millimeter piece. Yep. Alright, let's see how this fits. Man, it's super close, but it's not there yet. So we're just going to do a little fine tuning. Seems to be a little under 5.5. I mean, it's super close. We're fractions of a millimeter off here. Oof, yeah. Super close. Yeah. A little bit more, just a little bit more here. There we are. There we are. All right. Well, maybe I spoke too soon. Yeah, I spoke a little too soon. It still needs a little bit more fine-tuning there. I don't think I had the part squeezed together as much as I should have to simulate how it will be when it's glued together. All right. That's a little tight still. It fits, but it's a little tight. .2. Yeah, it's about 5 1/4 right now. All right, that actually fits. There we go. Man, like a glove. But yeah, that fits pretty good. That fits pretty good. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. All right. Excellent. All right. So, yeah, and you can kind of see how that fits underneath the lip right here, right? And bottoms out on that corner. So, excellent. All right, so for this, since we have to slide it kind of in like that, I don't necessarily want to use super glue straight out of the gate. What I think I might do is leave this in here and then kind of glue it in by capillary action with some plastic magic. Let's do that. Let's do that. All right. Come on now. Oh my God. There's a lot. Jesus, there's a lot of chat we got to catch up on. Holy shit. Yeah, you guys are chatting it up tonight. All right. Hang tight. I'll be catching up here in a minute. I actually want to try and get some shit done here. Imagine that, right? That's too much. Alright, there we go. This will give us a good base to glue everything else off of here too. Okay. And it'll be nice and solid here since we are gluing this strip underneath of this little kind of lip section there. So I think that'll look, I think that'll be good. There it is, my little pointer. Just kind of press that into place. Alright, we'll leave that as is. That's looking good. Alright, let's get this other piece cut here. 5.5. Yeah, too bad they don't come in 1/4 millimeter sizes, right? Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Alright, so what we can do now is this. We can use a little 1/2 millimeter chisel and try to, oh yeah, look at that. It's riding right up against that that groove there. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And I don't know why I'm doing it this way. I'm just trying something, you know. Like I'm just seeing what, and it's probably going to end up being a mess. I'll be straight with you, but you know, I want to give it a try.
I mean, at the end of the day, this plate is not going to be seen. It's going to be glued over many, many times. So, doesn't necessarily have to be super clean. Alright. Let's go with this and just snip it and call it a fucking day. Alright. Alright, let's see what that does. Oh shit, it kinda got us in the ballpark. Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Let's go. Alright. First shot, right? Alright, let's get all the junk off of this piece here. There we go. Did I not glue the... Oh, no, I didn't glue this in. Did I glue the other one in? No. Fuck me. Okay. I thought I glued this in. Well. C'est la vie. I'll worry about it at some other point. Alright. Go ahead and slide this guy into position here. Chisel discipline. Holy shit, you guys are topping out the universal chat. Okay, bear with me. Where'd the piece go? Go. Very good. Very good. All right. Cool. We'll get caught up in the chat here momentarily, because you guys are talking like a bunch of high school girls. Let's go. All right. Let's go back to camera. Fuck it. Let's leave it here. I don't give a shit. Okay, so, like I said, you guys are topping out the universal chat here. They were so close to... I don't know what you guys are talking about here. So let me go back in the normal chat here. Oh my god, yeah. So... much. Okay. I didn't miss much, thankfully. Okay, cool. Henry says, yo, Enrico, sup, man? Sorry about Uruguay going out. He says, yeah, oh, yeah, that was painful to watch. And then Burke said, yeah, they were so close, too. Yeah, okay, so we got the missing information there, so that's good. Edwin, he says, fell on the floor last February because of wet floors. Tore my knee ligament and meniscus. Meniscus is doing fine, but the ligament are still bugging from time to time. Yeah, ligaments are tricky, man. Real tricky. That whole ACL, PCL, shit in there. I mean, you see, athletes deal with that, and I mean, it takes at least a year to get fully right. Even though they say they're healed, man, they're not the same, at least for like a year, maybe more.
So yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Edwin. Henry says, dude, what's up with Argentina? Enrico says, with an average goalkeeper, we would have qualified easily. Henry says, that damn Uruguayan coach crazy. They need to get a new one, Dorlan, for the win. He said he corrected Forlan. I don't know. Ouch, that bites, Edwin. Yeah, I agree. Brian says, wait, do you, Enrico, and Gumpy Uruguay know each other? You're from the same country? Yeah, they're both from Uruguay. They know each other. They're doing a build-off, actually, Brian. They were talking about that. Yeah. Musalera should have near been up there. Tim, Arlie Ermy died. Oh, what? No, what? Are you kidding me right now? What? Hold on. Oh, wait. He died in 2018. Yeah. Arlie Ermy died in 2018. April 15th, 2018. Oh, he died on tax day. Sorry, Gunny. Shit. Yeah. Yeah. Todd, I think you're late to the party there, dude. Yeah, he died in 2018. Argentina's plot armor is insane. I would have loved to win the games they have. The Egypt game was madness. So y'all are talking about soccer, football, World Cup, obviously. I just it's not my bag, but I do. I mean, I like to watch it sometimes, but it's just like I don't get deep into it. You know what I mean? Like I'm a casual. Let's see. Henry says, Brian, you mean me and Enrico? Oh no, I just love soccer. Died. Oops, stupid cell. Yeah. Enrico says, yes, he lives down south and I live right on the border with Brazil, 500 kilometers apart, kilometers. But we do know each other and have met a few times. Nice. Handren says, in Rochi, Vargentina has FIFA with them. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, Handren. He says, I have Argentinian friends, but I must agree. Enrico said that. Handren says, I bet Sunday the whole world wants Spain to win. Who is Spain playing? I know Spain got in, because I think Spain beat England, right? Something like that. Brian says, that's awesome. Only guys I've met in real life are guys in NYC. Andrew says, half, there's two parts of me when it comes to my knees. One part wants the surgery done and over with. The other is upset with when it will land because it will be prime painting season. And he says, I will likely be spending time in a short-term care facility for the recovery, as there isn't any place on the first floor of this house safe for me to recover in. Damn, dude. That's terrible. Let's see. Enrico says, nice, Brian. Do you see them regularly? Must be so cool to regularly hang out with Gunpla buddies for those who can. Yeah, dude, I wish too, right? But yeah, Brian's in North Carolina? Yeah, in North Carolina. Shit, so that's a few hundred miles away, at least. I'm 8 hours from North Carolina, where Brian is, and then 3 hours from NYC. So yeah, that would put him at 11 hours, man. Henry says, Tim, going ahead with the bracket. I think so. I think what I want to do, Handren, is I have this crazy idea to probably somehow attach the two fuel tanks, and I don't know if that's going to be feasible or not. So it may just end up being kind of a pseudo-looking bracket. But I do like the idea of it. I'm just thinking of ways on how to actually execute it. Because there is, you can kind of see a little light between these two tanks, so they're not perfectly aligned. What I was thinking before is I could just, run a bead of glue here and make these kind of one piece, but I don't think the spacing will allow that at this point. But yeah, I think I do. I like the idea of having that bracket, like, coming down from the arm here, and then that would basically make this as a support arm or something like that. So I'm just gonna have to kind of brainstorm and come up with a method. So jump that hurdle when we get there. Anywho, let's see. Brian says, I see them once every few years. COVID ruined a lot of meets. Yeah, I'm a couple states away from NYC, so when I can, I'll go. I'm trying to meet a lot of my California friends. There you go. SCGMC, Brian, SCGMC. Edwin says to Andrew, yep, seems like a ligament is not as strong before the tear. I need to rebuild it slowly. Yeah. A lot of these athletes, man, are just not the same, at the same level after, especially an ACL tear. It's rough, man. It's rough. So, let's see. Enrico says, I see. Damn pandemic. Yeah, for real, right? Let's see. Henry says, before you know, you will have to name your army the retiree army. Aw. Nah. Lots of laughs at that one. Anyway, let's see. Enrochi Sunday Viva la España. España? Okay. Like O.J. Simpson's glove? I don't know. Julius says, Tim, the shirt is great. He says, I love the Chato Mecha logo on the inside. What are your thoughts about putting the logo on the outside back of the shirt? Same size to same size front near the collar. Julius, I actually had the, the Chato Mecha logo, kind of right up at the top, on the outside before. I kind of like it on the inside a bit better because it's a little less intrusive. And it basically just gives more prominence to the design itself. It doesn't, take away from it. Same thing with the hats. I had a little Chato Mecha logo on the side, and I was just like, nah, just take that off. Just let the design itself kind of be the most prominent thing. I mean, the people know where they got the shit from. You know what I mean? Come on. Yeah, I think I think I'm leaving it on the inside at this point. So, but man, yeah, the new shirts themselves are fucking great. They're soft. They're a nice medium weight. I really, really like them, because if you guys had bought any of the old shirts right before the hiatus, those were from another company. Can't remember the name of the company, but they were very, very soft, but the cut was fucking weird. It was super long, like a goddamn dress on me, which I did not like. And So the new ones, the ones that we're currently using, is by a company called Gildan. It's the biggest, you know, t-shirt, you know, apparel manufacturer, I think, in the world at this point, because they make stuff for other companies. You know, that's kind of why they're so big. This shirt that I'm wearing is just a blank Gildan shirt. I love this shirt. This is actually a different model. This is a less expensive model than the one that we're using. And not to say that the one that we're using is all that expensive, because it's really not. But the model that we're using is insanely soft, and it's just a really, really good weight. So I'm super happy with the current model, and I hope they don't ever get rid of it, because I'm just so fucking pleased with it. Can't wait to get my new shirts, if I'm being honest with you. So yeah. Let's see. Burke says it's a Friday night stream. You goddamn right it is. What time is it? 11:20 already? Where did the time go? My God. Enrico says, yeah, Handren, Sunday, we're all Espanols like flamenco and paella. Oh, same side. Yeah, we already saw that from Julius there. Handren says, hell yeah, Enrico. Brian says, I'm waiting for Tim to make the Forbidden Word shirt so I can buy it in every color. All right, I'll get on it this weekend. I was joking, but if you guys really want it, like, I'll put it out there. If you fucking want it, let's go, you know. God, man. Let's see. Burke says to Julius, I ordered my shirt too. I'm excited. Yes. Oh God, Burke, what did you get? I forgot what you ordered there. Let me see. Because I need to do the. Oh yeah, you got the Heat Hawk. That's such a kick-ass design. I love that. Yeah, I gotta do the thank you videos for the most recent orders. So for those of you that don't know, when you order from the Chado Mecha Store, the company that I go through has this really cool kind of thing where the creator, me, can do like these little thank you videos and stuff. And I love the idea of it. And so I make sure to do that for every single order. So I have a batch that I need to go through and get those done. So, but yeah, I love that idea. I think that was so cool. So yeah, I like doing them too. They're kind of fun. Let's see. Brian, we would be smart to make that shirt. Burke says there's a lot of those. Oh, right. Plates of freedom. There you go. Big Terp says, by the way, a little unexpected benefit of this hobby is since I airbrush and the air booth fan is weak, I bought an air purifier on Prime Day. Guess who's forest fire smoke resistant now? Oh my God, dude, right? If you guys didn't see my Instagram story today, holy shit. So I have I've kind of a weird bedroom kind of setup. I actually have a 2-story bedroom. I have a loft in my bedroom, which is amazing. I love it to death. So the ceiling in my bedroom is pretty high, and it has skylights in it. So today, you know, with all the smoke from the wildfires from Canada and everything, the sunshine that was coming in was like orange. It was super creepy. So yeah, yeah, it's the wildfire smoke is kind of crazy. Let's see. Andrew says, I plan on ordering some shirts if some of the Transformers I'm going to be putting up for sale actually sell. Nice. Well, thank you in advance, Andrew. I appreciate that, buddy. Andrew says, Tim, the Tamiya scribing knife would be a great to trim those little oh my god, right? The Tamiya Scriber. Yeah. Oh, such precision with that too, right, Handren? My god. Burke says, buy your mecha plates now. Your freedom plates come in all sorts of thickness. There we go. Burke says, I need like 5 of those whole states on fire right now. Yeah, buddy. Handren says, once you try the freedom plates, your mecha will soar. Damn right it will. Mikey says, I'm back home from work. Nice. It's the weekend, Mike. Enjoy. Let's see. Enrico says, hey, nice. Andrew says, I'm surprised that he hasn't put plaques on the store of the various logos he's made for the store on plow plates, of course. Oh, yeah, right. Todd says, as the saying goes, plow plate works miracles. Does it, though? Does it? Mikey says, I'm so tired that I'm trying to muster up the motivation to work on the PG new right now. Oh, man. I know how you feel. Andrew says, we need a Chisel Discipline shirt. Really? Like, I had the Chisel Discipline shirts up before, and nobody bought them. Like, I was the only schmuck to actually buy one. And then the shirt got ruined, so it's just like, yeah. Plate Discipline, there we go. Blaze says, not my boy, Gunnery Sergeant Hart. Yeah, dude, right? Burke says, LOL, I was going to say, he died a long time ago. Yeah. Henry says, Tim, have you seen the new Spider-Man clip of the Hulk? I have not. Huh. Interesting. Yeah. Let's see. Todd says, I just seen the post on Facebook. I think they are outdated. Yeah, a little bit. Not Jawormy? This guy calls it sports ball for sure. I don't, actually. No, I don't. I'm just mainly into football and baseball. So, yeah. I mean, I call it sports ball if I'm joking or something, maybe, but otherwise, not really. Enrico says, Spain v. Argentina World Cup final. Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know who to root for between those two, I'll be honest with you. Let's see, Argentina beat England in the semifinals. Okay. Enrico says, we saw the England goal with the students from my school. They all gathered in my classroom because I put that on the TV between lessons. Oh, nice. Let's see, Javier says, I need to go over there for a weekend to buy cheap stuff over the border. We all cheered loudly. Big rivalry. Nice. Yeah, Enrico says, hell yeah, that'd be awesome. Thing is that the rivalry between Uruguay and Argentina is kind of like big brother, small brother fight. They are good folks, but when it comes to football, yikes, those egos. Let's see. Enrico says, absolutely lovely people, but you don't want to be up against them in anything, especially football. Jeez. Andrew says, you said the part fit like a glove. I was just wondering whose glove. Oh, sorry, Andrew. I was so out of context on that. So far behind. My bad. Henry says, Enrico, what they have done so far against ISHO speed is very low. Okay. Dairy Defender, she's over there on Twitch. Hey, what's going on, Dairy? Good to see you. Enrico, saw that a couple days ago. Oh, and look, Dairy's also on YouTube as well. She says, hey. She's double dipping. Nice. Let's see, Blaze says, my store order arrives the day after my Sab Chisels set gets here. And I did buy the Chisel Discipline sticker. I saw that, Blaze. That was cool. Appreciate that, buddy. Appreciate that. Let's see. Javier says, thing is that because of a few dumbasses, all fans get sacked on the same bag. Damn. All right. It's almost like Pittsburgh-Baltimore rivalry in you know, American football, the NFL. So, yeah. That rivalry's been going on for decades, and I love it. Love it. Anyway, Andrew says, I was telling my wife those must be the offsprings of the Nazis, runaways that left Germany back in the 40s. Oh, man. The Argentinian people. Poor folks. A couple years ago, he says, those are way down south. Oh, man. Gunplay, it's past a few at this moment. Yeah. Brian says, laughs in Ecuadorian. Oh. Yeah, I know. Javier says, let's see. Burke says, I love Zach's and mono eyes, so the Heat Hawk is amazing. Yes, it is. That's such a good design, too, right? Brian says, please do, oh great leader of the styrene. Bless us, me, with the forsaken powers of this shirt. I got you, Brian. I'll work on it this weekend, all right? Andrew says, I used to wear Fruit of the Loom shirts from the mid-90s to early 2000s. Then they changed them too much. I didn't really get any new shirts for a long time before Tim's OG shop. There we go. Hendren says, have a text at the back of the shirt saying the plot plates in this is strong. In the front have plot plate strips. Jesus. I don't know, man. Mike says, I have the colors picked out for the PG new frame. SMS Gunmetal, Obsidian for the darker plastic, SMS Haze Gray, Blue-Gray for the lighter frame parts. Nice, nice, nice. Blaze says, I'm glad you said something about the video message because I didn't know I had one. Oh, dude. Blaze, you're killing me, buddy. Killing me. Yeah. It's all, and it's not, and it's customized to the person too, right? So it's not like some blanket video or anything like that they put out. It's actually really, really freaking cool. It's an awesome little feature. Look at that. George is with us. Old school Gunpla. He says, hey, Tim and all. I actually talked to George today. We had a great little conversation. We got caught up and everything. It was super nice to talk to George. It's been so long. I think we had said 2019 Anime NYC. So fucking long ago. 7 years. Crazy. Kelvin says, Tim, the look of the fuel tanks now makes them seem as if they could be jettisoned. Are you going for fixed in place look? Shit, that's... Oh, man. See, now you got me thinking here, Kelvin. Now you got me thinking here, buddy. That's actually a really interesting thought. Shit, I'm gonna have to think about that. I'm really gonna have to think about that shit. Now you put that bug in my head, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to see. I'll play with it and come up with a decision at some point. So yeah. Handra and Tim, I may draw in or get ChatGPT to draw you holding plot plates and say, I'm loving it like McDonald's. Oh my God, please don't. Andrew says, dang it, you guys desensitized him to plot plate. Yeah, for real. No more styrene whipping the camera. Derry says, how's everyone doing tonight? Derry, we're doing good. It's Friday, you know, we're shooting the shit. It's already 11:30. It's super late, and it's just like, you know, I got like 2 pieces of plastic glued in here, which is kind of the norm for these night streams, I'll tell you. But so far, so good. Let's see. Brian says, the great wise one is here. Everyone say, ooh, ah, hi, Uncle G. Right. Oh, shit. Yeah. George says, Brian, LOL, right? Derry says, I meant to be on YouTube, but I accidentally went to the Twitch notification. It's all good. It's all good. Watch wherever you want. It's not a big deal. Derry says, good news. Pain in my leg is going down. Still hurts like hell, but it's doing better. That's excellent. And that's really, I mean, can we really ask for anything else other than getting better at this point? Well, probably completely no pain, sure, but still, it's a step in the right direction. So that's a good thing. Enrico says plot plate is freedom shirt, right? Ay, ay, ay. All right, I'm going to have to take notes. I'll refer back to this one. I'll come back, have something for you guys. I'll see what I can come up with. Andrew says to Handred, make the plot plate strips on the shirt look like suspenders. Oh, man. I only have a certain area that, you know, can print on. Yeah, Brian says, hi, Derry. Hope it gets better. For real, right? RF, awesome idea, right? Blaze says, to be fair, letter Kenny. AliExpress sends me like 100 emails a day, so I get desensitized to my email notifications. All good. I'm kind of the same way. Let's see. George says it was way too long, brother. Damn right, Georgie. Let's see. Andrew says heal well, Derry. Damn right. And George says, but great catching up. Yes, it absolutely was. Blaze says, don't think too much, Tim. We can't be having more smoke added to the air right now. Jesus. For real, right? Excuse me. Mike says, just use some magnets for that idea. Oh, for the... yeah. These are going to be permanent. Like, I'm not going to take them out permanent. That's more or less what I mean. So I don't... magnets would serve really no purpose. But in terms of what Kelvin was talking about, you know, having it look like they're, you know, ejectable and everything, yeah, that is definitely something I want to ponder a little bit. So, Handren says kind of like the Stark Jagan rocket release pods. Kinda, yeah. Like if you remember in Gundam Unicorn, the Stark Jagan, how it just went blew off the pods and everything. Such a great scene. But yeah, almost, you know, something maybe like that is kind of what I'm thinking Kelvin may be pointing to. But yeah, I think I might have a think on that. So, Derry says to Andrew, thanks, I'm doing my best. There you go. There you go. Burke says, it would be cool if you put a spring mechanism into that backpack to actually eject the large fuel tanks. Oh, God. I don't want to stack this thing with gimmicks, you know what I mean? That's probably not what it's probably what I'd probably never do something like that. Henry says, Bandai a long time ago used to have gimmicks like that in their old SDGG kits ejecting little rock. Yeah, I remember that. Derry says, my pain can only go down to a certain amount since I have faster hypertrophy. There we go. Just had to gather myself. Let's see. Brian says, my credit card is ready, Tim. Nice. She says, sorry, facet hypertrophy. Gotcha. Handren says, man, that scene alone takes the cake over everything Sunrise made recently. Right? If you guys don't understand or don't get the reference, in Gundam Unicorn, either the movie or the series, either one, because the scene's in both, it's the first appearance of the Kshatriya, and it goes up against, I think it was like 3 or 4 Jagans, and then one was a Stark, and commander type, everything. And I'm going to tell you what, that Stark Jagan took it to the Kshatriya. I've been saying for years, ever since that came out, like, I want an entire series dedicated to whoever that pilot was. I need to know that pilot's name, rank, lore. Do they have personal insignias? I want to know it all. I want to know more about that person in the cockpit before they before they got yoinked by the Kshatriya, because they were giving it to the Kshatriya. I'll tell you what, man. that Stark Jagan pilot was so incredibly skilled in that mobile suit. She, whatever, they lasted and did better in a first confrontation with the Kshatriya than I think Banajra and the Unicorn did. So goes to show you, it's not necessarily the tool or the mobile suit, but it's the person using it. That pilot was a certified badass. Certified. Oh, I literally could watch that particular scene all day long. It was so great. So great. Let's see. Derry says, I may have gotten a friend into the hobby. She saw me building the Master Grade GNX and thought it looked interesting. Awesome. I dig it. I dig it. Edwin says, ejecting fuel tank is Hasbro's department. Yeah, for real, right? Brian says, sounds like a Transformers gimmick. A little bit, yeah. The Tall Geese has a mechanism to eject shells and whatnot in the rifle, I think. X8 had some cool I guess Easy 8 has some cool gimmicks too. Yeah. Henry says Stark Jagan was like Gundam. Hells no. I'm gonna beat that ass with a grunt for real, right? I mean, even though it was a Stark, man. Whew. That pilot gave it to the Kshatriya, man. Like literally had the Kshatriya on its heels. But then, the funnels came out, and I mean, what can you really do against, literally like 20 funnels? It's just, yeah. It wasn't meant to be. Derry says, yeah, it's pretty rough. I have to use a cane when I walk. Oh man, that's terrible. Briggsy! Or she let him think he could win the Stark Jagan, right? Hendren says he would have won if it wasn't for magic shit from the Kshatriya. Yeah, the fucking funnels, man. Just, yeah. What can you do as a normal human pilot? What can you do against that? You can't really go up against that. Unless you're assisted in some way, Andrew says, damn it, now I need to rewatch Unicorn. Yeah, for real. I rewatched the first Hathaway movie earlier today while I was working, redrawing some insignias and stuff like that. So, yeah. That's a great... it's very, very well animated. The story is little, but the animation is superb. Derry says the Stark Jagan pilot was a baller for going melee with the Kshatriya. For real, right? The pilot literally just, popped off all of the missiles in the pods, ejected them, threw the bazooka away and everything, popped its beam saber and was just like, let's go, bitch. Oh, just love that whole scene. Oh man. Blaze says, I have it on good authority that that pilot was Dom Toretto and he finally found something that family couldn't overcome. Wow. That's great, actually. Kelvin says, remember fast fighter look means drop tanks, or as fighter pilots say in practice, to start the fight, fights on. Okay. That's kind of an interesting thought process. I mean, because these are on the smaller side of fuel tanks, let's be honest, right? Shit, now you got me thinking here, Kelvin. Now you got me thinking. Henry says, I watch that scene regularly. Yeah, I kind of pull it out every 2-3 times a year maybe, and like I'll bring it up on like YouTube and watch it, and it's just like, oh man, it's so great. Briggsy says that excuse me, Stark Jagan at the beginning did some work, but the other ones in the show never had a chance. Oh yeah, the normal Jagans, oh forget it. They were probably rookies or something like that, but man, that's Stark. Whoo, buddy. Space magic BS. Yeah, right? Brian says, any extra details or scribe work on the fuel tanks looks a little too smooth for the details already on the kit. I think, honestly, I'm going to leave it as is because there will be decals on here. So that will definitely raise the level of detail for these. So I don't want to necessarily do too much to fuel tanks because, you know, they're going to have some nice, you know, longer decals on each one and everything. So that'll, you know, provide some really, really good detail for these. But in terms of scribing, plating, anything like that, I'm going to avoid, you know, anything more. Just leave it as is. I like the little, you know, line, you know, scribe line at the, you know, the very end and everything. But no, I mean, we're gonna leave them pretty plain, honestly. Let's see. Burke says to Handren and crying, don't forget crying and feelings win over asteroids. Whew, buddy. Yeah. Watching the first Hathaway movie again, and you see him obsessing over Kess and you know, flying the mobile suit and getting a kill and yada yada yada. I'm like, all right, I mean, cool, we're obsessing over that. That's cool. Derry says, I think the high grade EZ8 from the 90s had an opening chest hatch. Yeah, I think, well, the master grade, the chest, the armor on the chest, I think folds down, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure. If not, I've seen somebody modify it to do that. Indeed, Burke. Balls of steel, that Jagan pilot, for real, right? Javier says, I wonder when we are going to see the second Hathaway film on streaming. You see, I looked that up, and I have no clue. There's no information about it coming to Netflix or any other streaming platform at this point. Like, they just released it in the theaters, and that was it. Like, what the hell? Mike says, that pilot didn't die. You can still hear him talking smack after his machine got cut in half. Oh, dude, he has every right to talk smack after that if he was still alive, man. Blaze says, it's a perfectly normal size for a fuel tank. Thank you. Nice. Henry says, I made a clip of it on my IG a while back. Nice. Enrico says, funnily enough, I rewatched all of Unicorn on the winter break a couple weeks ago. Nice. Hadn't watched it in over 6 years. Oh yeah. See, I will pull out some Gundam series, movies, things like that when I'm kind of feeling squirrely doing work, something like that, just to kind of have on a second screen, something like that. And like when I was redrawing the Titans test team insignias, like I had, what did I go through? I went through all the Origin movies. I went through Char's Counterattack. Yeah, got through all of those in one sitting too. That was during the Hazel Herrera logo. That took me 9+ hours. That was rough. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, I watched the first Hathaway movie. What was it? Last night or today? It was today. Well, No, I finished it today. I watched part of it last night and I finished it today. Yeah. But yeah, I need to see the second one. I hope the second one's better than the first one, honestly. Like, the action in the first one is cool and everything, but like the story is just kind of like all over the place. So I was a little, come on, man. A little more intrigue, a little bit more kind of, mystery. Like, why do they want to kill all the ministers? Why all the targeting? Like, I get why he wants everybody to go back to space, whatever. He's a hurt little boy, but like, come on. Anyway, Hannah says, the second Hathaway movie, man, the Cassie just manhandled the mass new. I saw the clip of that. That was wild. Yeah, he went full berserk mode. Andrew says fuel tanks are MP anyway. Easily swapped, discarded, yeah. Mike says, and I think that Jagan unit was from the Rock Halum, the main ship from CCA. Yeah, Londo Bell, that Amuro was assigned to, yeah. The Londo Bell has four main ships in their group. Rock Halum is the flagship for Londo Bell, and that's in a class of its own. And then there are three other. I forget what class ships they were, but they all started with Ra something. But yeah, the Rock Halum was its own. Was a Rock Halum class battleship. So, yeah. Huh. Interesting. Anyway, Brian says, okay, simple eye candy for it sounds great. Yeah, dude. Exactly. We'll get details. It doesn't always have to be physical details, because the decals do a lot of heavy lifting too. So, and I always have to keep that in mind and kind of save some empty space here and there, So, Derry says, what's your favorite kit you've built? Oh, that's a question.
We have a question.
She says, I absolutely loved building the high-grade GN flag. That this is a blast to pose. My favorite built kit, it's a toss-up between, obviously, the Jesta. It's a toss-up between the Jesta or the Sinanju Stein. Both were great kits. Very, very well engineered too. So it's a tough call, but probably it's a tie between those two. Yeah. Andrew says no spoilers for the new Hathaway movie. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Andrew, I haven't seen it, so I don't know. Other than seeing the one clip where, like Handren said, where the Zai Cassie whatever just dog walks the mass-produced new Gundam. Yeah, just fucking dog walked it. I was like, whoa. Enrico says, yeah, the 90s high grade does have that gimmick. There we go. Briggsy says, that's the thing, the Federation have the best mobile suits, but the Xeon has the best pilots. Yeah. I mean, some of the aces you can probably compare and contrast. Brennis Ox was was the kill lead for Xeon. He was their ace. Had more kills than Char. And then it was Tenneth Jung, hope I'm saying that right, for the Federation. Those were the two big kill count aces. So, yeah. But in general, I agree with you. I think the Xeon pilots were probably better trained. So, yeah. Lorenz says, evening everyone, a bit late. How are you guys doing? Lorenz, how are you, buddy? We're just shooting the shit. Normal Friday night stream here. Brian says, Andrew, spoiler alert, Hathaway was in it. Derry says, can confirm the high-grade EZ8 from the 90s has a chest opening gimmick where you can see the mechanics of the chest gun and cockpit. Yeah, and I think the Master Grade has that too, if I'm not mistaken. Todd says, Tim, have you ever built a mobile armor? Does the Hummingbird count? I don't know. That fucker was big, man. I don't know. Aside from that, no. Let's see. Burke says, yeah, I have the Master Grade right next to me. It has a lot of gimmicks that I find really neat for the era, and I love the suit. Yeah, the EZ8 is such a great design. I think it needs an update, though. The ground suits were good kits, don't get me wrong. Proportions were a little chunky. Henry says, without spoiling the second, a lot of talking. There's nothing bad about that. Derry says the second Hathaway movie has some great moments, but it has some of the same issues. Todd says, I can't wait for Hathaway 2 to come out on VOD. Yeah, for real, right? I need to see it. Let's see. Briggsy says, because the Xeon have to be good pilots, as with the Feds, they just trust the mobile suit over their own skills. That's the reason why the fights go the way they do. That's a fair point. Burke says, there was and still is this rumor that Shard gave Anaheim Electronics all of their designs to get Amuro into a better suit than him. Just to test his skills because Amuro couldn't pilot worth a crap. Wow. Well, in Char's counterattack, he did give Anaheim the new type interface for, the interface. Fuck, I can't remember the name. Anyway, but yeah, the new type interface technology. He gave to Anaheim to give to Amuro so it would be a fair fight between the new and the Sazabi. So yeah, that was in CCA. Lorenz says, I think it being split into 3 parts does factor in the pacing. Are they doing 3 parts? I thought it was only a 2-parter for Hathaway. Huh. Learn something new every day. But he says, I think it being split into 3 parts does factor in the pacing. If they did the whole book in one movie, it would be a bit rushed, like CCA. He says, I just can't wait for all 3 to be out, so it's one cohesive story, right? Henry says the Hathaway story as a whole is more drama than action. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as it's good drama and good, like, intrigue and all of that. You know what I mean? Derry says, took me a while to remember the class of ship, but it's the Klopp class. Thank you. Let's see. Henry says, I felt sorry for that new. Yeah. Dog walked. Mike says, I'm gonna head to bed. Good night, everybody. Mikey, dude, get some sleep and rest up, bud. It's the weekend. Enjoy it. Derry says, Londo Bell also had some Irish-class battleships. Damn autocorrect. Londo Bell, not London Bell. I gotcha. Burke says, well, Xeon pilots had Ramba Ral and Shar to train them. Who do the Feds have? Bright Slap Boy. Actually, Feds had a decent number of aces. Tenneth Jung, Lido Wolf, Brackenmeyer, a few others, Slegger, obviously, Amuro, bunch of others. Yeah, they had a few, but in terms of real aces, yeah, Xeon had more. 100 Gaul, where is it at, Bandai? Freaking Lane Aim. What's up with that dude's name? Lane Aim. More like lame aim. Briggsy says the thing is, if the Xeon's best pilots didn't all die at the beginning, Xeon would have been able to do more. That's why they used kids, right? Space magic, yeah. Saikamu, there you go. Shit. Thank you, Enrico. I couldn't remember the name of it for some reason. Saikamu, the Saikamu system, yes. Burke says to Briggsy, except not so much, because Char's counterattack were where they couldn't stop the asteroid without crying and feelings. My feelings. And fucking Kess in the Alpha or whatever. 3 volumes, 3 movies. Interesting. Okay, I thought Hathaway was like 2 movies and done. I didn't know it was 3. Huh. Well, shit. That sucks even worse, because now we gotta wait even longer. Breezy says, then Char got his butt kicked. Yeah. Volumes. There you go. Darius says, remember, Amuro almost beat Gyune Gus while in a Regazi and gave Char some trouble. Yeah. Yeah, Amuro was no slouch, man. Even though, yes, space magic, but he was no slouch. He was a good pilot. Amuro piloting skills was god after the half of the Gundam series. First half he was carried by the Gundam AI, yeah. Because Xeon developed mobile suits sooner before Feds, yeah. Feds beating Xeon with newly fresh GMs was a flex in my opinion. Love me a good GM. Briggsy says Hathaway has to have a lot of parts because of the way it ends. See, I've never read the whole Hathaway story, and I don't know much about it, I'll be honest with you. So that's why I'm kind of looking forward to the whole thing and seeing it and everything. Todd says, well, I'm off, people. Hope everyone has a good weekend. Todd, take care, buddy. Get some good building done this weekend, yeah? Derry says, I always find it funny that Amuro was supposed to get the Alex and wound up not getting it. It's stated in some lore that Amuro would have died during the meetup where he was supposed to get it. Oh, shit. Fuck. What's his name? Oh my god, I can't even remember the modeler's name, but he's very, very prominent Japanese modeler. And it'll come to me after the stream, and I'll be like, prominent builder for Hobby Japan and everything too. But he made an Amuro version for Hobby Japan. I think I might actually have it in the Gundam Weapons. Let me see here. Hang on. Let's see. Goof, Char's counterattack, Dom, amphibious, new generation, Zeta, 1 year. Where? See, I thought I had an Alex edition for this. Well, shit. Now I'm like wondering here. What is this one? I don't think this is it. Man, I gotta go back through some of these Gundam weapons. Yeah. Gundam weapons. Great books. Great books. Was it this one? War in the Pocket. This might be it. This one might be it. Let's see. Yes, okay, so check it out. Alex is on the front cover, so this is probably it. All right, hang on. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, Max Watanabe. Max Watanabe. That is the name that I was trying so hard to fucking remember. But Max Watanabe did this. the tiger stripe camphor. Look at that. Look at that. That is freaking cool. That is freaking cool. I actually have the Hobby Japan issue that this was in, and man, he printed his own decal, the whole 9 yards. All that tiger striping is paint. Got the red shoulder, yeah. Oh man, look at that. Yeah, see, there's the custom decals. Yeah, they're hand painted. They're hand painted, Big Turp. But just one of my favorite models in this book. Just so freaking good. Max Watanabe. That's who I was trying to remember the name of. He was the one that did the Gundam Alex Amuro version, and it's not in here. What the shit? Well, that blows. Shitty. Now, one thing that I do want to share with you is one of my main inspirations back in the early days is a modeler by the name of Motu Asumi. And the inspiration that I took from him was for all of the surface detailing and the strapping technique and everything. And I've shown his work, you know, a few times here on the show. But he did the goofs, the crows. I forget what are they called. Like the sword, yeah, the Team Blue Crow. Just beautiful work. So this is the what is this? This is the Sword Crow, right? And super clean work. His work is super clean. I mean, look at the fingers, all articulated fingers, and you can see, like here on the inner knees, the strapping technique that I incorporated a lot into my work, and that's where I got this from. This is amazing work. He does, or did, amazing work. He's not too much into modeling, unfortunately, anymore, from what I understand. I follow him on Twitter, but he just put in so much work. And he did like a trio of these kits. And I mean, look at this. Just so much amazing work. Absolutely crazy. And I mean, just look at the waist section alone for the goof. Like, look at all that work that he put into it. Incredible. Yeah. So here is the Spike Crow, and it's got like a spiky whip thingy. But yeah. The spikes, just super cool. And then this one on this side was the Shoot Crow. And of course he had the big Gatling and everything that he detailed out and did a ton of work there on the shield and all that stuff. So, yeah. Good stuff, man. Gundam weapons, if you can find it, get it. They're insanely valuable. In terms of inspiration and education and learning and all that, man. They're just really good shit to have. Good shit to have. So, all right. Let's get back to it here. He was supposed to get G3 as well. Yeah, right? Was it Sakurai? I don't know. Darius says, if I remember correctly, the magnetic coating is the only difference between the RX-78-2 and the G3, so Amuro technically got it when the Gundam was upgraded. Just a different paint job. There we go. True, Derry. Actually, Tamino wanted the G3 color scheme from the get-go. Bandai said, no kits won't sell. Wah. Derry says also the full armor Alex is a peak design. It's not bad. It's not bad. Not necessarily too much into full armor. Mobile suits in general, I think. But, yeah, I don't know. Dallas, Mr. Life Death, he's with us. He's question of the day. Honestly, it depends on the kit and the build. That's fair. That's totally fair. Full armor, awesome design. One of my faves, Handren says. Derry says, God, that camphor is so gorgeous. Yeah, right? The tiger one? It's good. So good. Edwin says, yeah, the G2 reaction time cannot keep up with Amuro's reaction time. That is why they tested it on the G3. That has to be hand painted. Did he paint the guns? Yeah, oh yeah, he painted everything. Max is one of the OGs in terms of, you know, Gunpla, Hobby Japan, all of that. Like, and, you know, mind you, I've been around since 2000, 2001, something like that. Max goes way beyond that. Way beyond that. You talk about OG, he's the one. He's the one. So, yeah. Terp says they seem rather plain. Yeah, they're still painted. I think he didn't want to take away from, you know, the camphor itself. Derry says, I have a custom high-grade camphor project that I abandoned where I tried to give it sleeves colors and markings. I do want to complete it, but I want to start from scratch. That's fair. Enrico says the crest, the Zulu shield, like the Gelgoogs, yeah, the accuracy on those stripes, yeah, all of it was awesome. All of it's awesome. Derry says I need to pull it out of storage to show people, but I did a simple kit bash between the Age Effects and 00 Quant. Nice. Nice. Gumply Uruguay, Mr. Javier, clocking out for the night. Javier, take care, buddy. He says, see you folks around. Nice. Derry says, see you, Gumpla. Everybody's saying later. Henry says, getting late, need to hit the hay, taking a load to North Carolina tomorrow. Handren, take care, buddy. Thank you for tuning in. Henry says, good night, everyone. Keep on plot plating the champions. Heyo. Let's see. Derry says, I'm also working on making the Goof tactical assault type. Nice. Nice. Some good projects there. Let's see. Kelvin, he says the EFSF seemed to use USA tactics during World War II with Sherman tanks, 3 to 4 Shermans to kill 1 Tiger tank. The movie Fury, oh, such a good movie, shows the 3-on-1 tactic historically correct. Yeah, such a great movie. If you haven't seen the movie Fury with Brad Pitt, Shia LaBeouf, John, God, what's the guy's name? The Punisher, John Bernthal, whatever you pronounce it. They're all in it. So good, so good. It's a World War II movie, so if you're not into that, you probably won't like it. But otherwise, it's a great movie. Highly recommend. Briggsy says a lot of the ideas of Gundam UC is based off of World War II, like the balls being called coffins. Yeah. Oof, yeah. Julia says, good night, everyone. Have a great weekend. Dr. J, take care, buddy. Briggsy says the armor was plot armor for the Alex. Without it, the camphor might have won. Whew, probably. Let's see. Dallas says, Tim, what did you think of my suggestion about pipes and vents? Probably not for the boosters. I want to keep them super sleek. And I don't want, you know, kind of dangly bits off of there. I showed it I think it was Wednesday-ish, a picture of the bird, the kingfisher, or just kingfisher, and how kind of sleek the head design is, and the boosters kind of resemble that, and I kind of want to keep it, very sleek. So, Derry says, one of my favorite things to do is take a random kit and some other random pieces and just cut and glue things at random and without a plan. That is chaotic kit bashing, and I'm here for it. Sleeps Camphor sounds great, Derry. Yeah, I agree. Finish that up. I agree. Derry says a Camphor Jabera Tetra kit bash would be fire. Damn. The shapes. Yeah. They would blend nicely, actually. Holy shit. Let's see. Burke says, I also like if you like World War Tank movies, T-34 is awesome. Yeah, Fury was great. Fury was fucking great. Brixie says Xeon uniform is based off World War II bad guy. Yes, they are. There's a lot of symbology, from World War II taken, for 1 Year War. Ton of symbology. Dangly bits. God, we're all just immature assholes, aren't we? Derry says Tim's next stream project, the Death Coffin Ball custom. Dude, that would be the Gundam version Logic. That was a coffin. Because if you ever heard Josh talk about it back in the day, he went dark. He was just like, oh yeah, the pilot gets welded in, and they're never coming out. They die in the mobile suit or whatever and everything. And the rest of us on the show, Gunpla Talk, we were just like, dude, really? Damn. Bill's with us. What's going on, Bill? He says, howdy, y'all. Bill, how you doing, buddy? We're about to punch the clock, so yeah. Just getting caught up on the chat and everything here. Big Jerk, the whole UC Xeon look is from World War II. Guess which nation? Yeah. Derry says, I have a great creative mind. I just lack the skill to make my ideas come true. Yeah, hell yeah. She says, I come from a long line of engineers, so it makes sense. Very much. Burke says, well, Gundam, I think, is war or more or less based on war. Yeah, oh yeah. Bill says, question of the day, neither. All I care about is feeling satisfied that I did what I wanted to do on a build. The time investment doesn't matter to me. That's a healthy way of looking at it. Yeah. Enrico says, damn, yeah, the version Logic was a real coffin. Yes, it was. Yeah. Josh got dark, man, with that. He got dark. Like, Dark Josh came out. Derry says, my next kit bash will be the Char's custom mobile ball. Oh my God. A 3 times faster ball. Let's go. Enrico says, I remember I made mine with panel lines for the cockpit hatch and posted pics before painting. Josh went, well, actually, yeah, that's funny. Bill says, Xeon look is based on Prussian military, not German. Enrico says, so I got rid of the panel lines with some super glue and primed the kit again. Oh, man. Josh pressured you into it. That sucks. Man. Anyway. All right. That's where we're caught up. That's where we're going to end it for tonight, kids. It's 12:18. Holy shit. Yeah, we got 2 pieces of plastic glued in. That's a typical Friday night, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway. All right, kiddos. I'll be back here Monday. Programming note for next Friday. I will probably not be streaming next Friday. I'm going down to North Carolina to visit Renee for the weekend, and then I'll be back Monday, hopefully in time to stream on Monday, but we'll see. We'll see. So, yeah. So, next Friday, no stream. Monday, the following Monday, tentative. So just keep that in mind. I'll remind you all next week, but just wanted to get it out there soon. So, all right, kiddos. With that being said, make sure you go buy some. And then also hit up the Child of Mecha store, shop.childofmecha.com. Like I said, there's going to be some drops next week. We got the Shrike insignia. We got some MSV insignias coming. And I'm also going to work on bringing back the Mecha Decal insignia as well on everything. So those should be dropping at some point next week. And then, yes, I will work on the claw plate design over the weekend for you kids. So, yes, especially for Brian. All right, so with that being said, y'all have an absolutely great weekend. Build some cool stuff. Be safe out there. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Stay tuned for the credits. See you, kids.